This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Son, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
All right, from Caroline High School, welcome to tonight's broadcast as the visiting Blue Devils take on the Cavaliers of Caroline. And Caroline will be kicking off, and that means Malik Tunstall. He approaches, short kick, end over end, and this should be fielded near the 20-yard line, and it is. J.Q. Williams on the return, looking for a little running room, and still fighting for yardage. As he gets across, we're going to have a little bit of difficulty seeing here tonight, Steve Peacock. Looks like about the 36-yard line. Welcome back after a week's absence last week. And, Chris Frazier filled in for you admirably, and you're back tonight. And what do you think about being here at Caroline High School, home of the Cavaliers?
Home of the Cavaliers, Mark. We haven't been here in a long, long time. I'm glad I'm back doing broadcasting with you this week, and looking forward to a good game here with Culpeper against the Cavaliers of Caroline.
Culpeper go on offense, start tonight's game, starting at its own 36-yard line. We can talk about both teams as we get to it, Steve, with the Blue Devils on offense. That means Bennett Sutherland, the quarterback in the gun. He's got two receivers to the left, two to the right. Sutherland going to throw on first down. This one's going to be incomplete. Not sure who it was intended for, but the closest player to it was Caroline's Richard Lindsay.
Yeah, I think that was a broken pass pattern off by the receiver, Mark, because Bennett was throwing to an area and there was nobody there. Just got to get on the first page, and it was on Damewood. He was not supposed to go that deep on that route. He's supposed to break it off right there at the first down marker. And again, like I said, just a little bit of timing issue right there.
Damewood this time to the left. Three receivers, trips to the left for the Blue Devils on 2nd and 10 here with Bennett Sutherland, of course, the quarterback. Go on the ground. Williams got across the 40 out to about the 41, it looks like. Should bring up 3rd and 5. Manageable third down situation for the Blue Devils here, Steve.
Yeah, it is, Mark, and that's exactly what Coach Ford and company wanted. They want Bennett to manage this football game, take care of the football, and what better way is handing off to your running back. And if you can sit there and get, 6-7 yards on a first down or second down carry, put you in a good position to manage this third down.
Right, and I may have misspoken. Number 16 is actually Devon Cooper. All right, here's 3rd and 5 for the Blue Devils. Opening possession of the game. Carolina High School is the place, Milford, Virginia. We got movement up on the left. Several blue jerseys decided to get a little bit of a quick start, and I think may cost them 5 yards, and if so, that should be enough for a Blue Devil first down here, Steve.
It should be. They look like Caroline jumped first, so it's going to be a 5-yard offsides.
Should be enough to move the sticks. Let's check the spot. It is going to be first down here.
All right, see if Culpeper can capitalize on this mistake by the Cavaliers of Caroline.
On 1st and 10 now from the 46-yard line, go the Blue Devils. Again, they send 3 receivers to the left over here for Bennett Sutherland. And Devon Cooper has gotten the start in the offensive backfield alongside him, number 16. Ball carrier is Cooper. tries to bounce it outside the pack and does. He got across midfield into Caroline territory down at the, looks like the 48-yard line, Steve. It's a pickup of 6 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 4, and so this is a running game. Now, in the past, or in recent past, of course, they had the combination of Polari back there, Devin Polari. So we haven't seen him yet, but they go with this one back. The feature back here behind Sutherland is Devon Cooper. And so 6 yards on first down, 2nd and 4 here in the first quarter. Back to Cooper again, and he will have, it looks like, enough for a first down. He had to get to the 44-yard line. So it's either going to be first down or 3rd and very short, and that is enough for a first down. So if you have Blue Devils here on your opening possession, Steve, which started on their own 36, they've kept it on the ground for the most part. One attempted pass, and that was incomplete.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, Mark, because then that's going to set up their passing plays later on in this game, and I'm impressed in how Cooper is executing the run. I'd like to see him get a little bit more lower at pad level, but he's doing a good job right now.
This time the Blue Devils load up that right side with receivers. Long snap count. They go back to Cooper, this time up the middle, and nothing doing that time. Big number 75, Brandon Washington, leads the charge and stuffs that one for Caroline.
Yeah, that's a big boy, Mark, trying to move in and out of there. So now you got yourself a little 2nd and long situation here, and now you might see Bennett Sutherland attempt to roll out pass, or maybe let's see if Devin Polari can get the tough yards in between the tackles.
Well, Polari's out there, of course. It looks like he's going to line up in the slot, and Cole Plaster wide of him on the right. Sutherland in the backfield, and this time Cooper on the right side of Sutherland here on 2nd and 10. Sutherland going to throw. This is the second pass of the night. This one's incomplete. That could have been, was that considered a fumble since it was thrown behind?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the official signal behind the behind pass, but when he threw it, it was behind the running back, and that was a mistake there by Sutherland. He needs to correct that. That could have been picked up and ran in for 6 if Caroline had been more closely on the ball.
Coming in again is Garrett Damewood, number 2, coming to the sidelines here. Just to check in is Devin Polari, and now to the sidelines, number 16, Devon Cooper. So Cooper doing the bulk of the rushing for the Blue Devils so far. Here's a 3rd and 10, and so we think pass, and let's see what Bennett Sutherland draws up here. As he rolls to his left, he looks downfield and he throws, and incomplete. And it looked like the intended receiver was likely Garrett Damewood.
Yeah, it wasn't, and Sutherland was being chased by that pass rush from Caroline, so he had to really get rid of it. And trying to throw across your body like that, it becomes hard, and your pass is going to sail on you. But now Culpeper is forced to punt, and I like this decision to go to punt to make Caroline earn it.
Yeah, that means RJ Uribe standing back near the 40-yard line. Let's pick up the return man's number there if we can, Steve. Kind of hard to see in this spot. There goes Johnny. See if he can pick up a number as Uribe kicks this one away. Let's check the bounce. It does take a Blue Devil roll. It's going to down it just shy of that 15-yard line. So RJ Uribe does his job with the nice kick, and Caroline will see them on offense for the first time tonight, likely starting from its own 16-yard line. Well, we are live tonight, and of course our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. All right, well, welcome aboard again, Steve, after last week's absence, and you were vacationing a little, and then Chris Frazier filled in for you admirably, and Johnny, of course, is back here tonight, and as always, Nicole Wooten back in the studio for our live broadcast and doing the work back there. So we see Caroline now on offense for the first time, starting at the 16. We'll pick up their players as we can here. Looks like Daniel Douglas may be the quarterback. He is, number 2. And they hand off to Malik Johnson. And the Blue Devils do a nice job of stringing that one out and stopping him for no gain on the play.
Yeah, Devin Polari just held his ground, the linebacker. He went in and fought off the block and was able to bring the runner down for Caroline for little or no gain. Looks like it's going to be 7, and that's going to be 2nd down. They're going to say lost one, Mark.
Mm-hmm. So we pick up some of those Blue Devil starters, Steve. 28, Talik Thomas. playing one of the corners. 10 is David Holland, defensive back. They fake it, then they throw it. And they've got a receiver out there who bounces off the initial hit.
By Cole Plaster. He had the initial hit on him, number 14.
And the receiver was Malik Johnson. He's got some height to him, so he's a pretty good target out there.
Yeah, he's a good target and looks a good athlete too. Mark, let's get some of that D line. 53 and 50 and 56.
56 is Tucker Dean.
53.
53, Larry Williams. On 3rd and 3 now from the 23 it is for the Cavaliers. No score here. 5 minutes into this first quarter. He's got time, and he throws it to the quarterback. The intended receiver was Marvin Morris, and nowhere near him. And so now the Blue Devils force a 3 and out, and they'll get the ball back.
Good job by the Blue Devils of forcing that 3 and out, Mark, and that was a good way to play defense on that 3rd and 3. And and plus they got a little bit of pressure on that quarterback as well. So let's see what they can do here on this second chance for offense.
Pick up the number back here for the return man. It looks like Devon Cooper.
Yeah, it is. And Cooper's 16. He's on the sideline.
Oh, okay, so right here,
yeah,
we can pick up his number. So this punt.
Number 24.
Anthony Marshall, A.J. Marshall. Well, wouldn't we have known that as far as the guy who'd most likely be back there for you unless you were injured? Obviously he's not. Well, Marshall's one of their athletes, isn't he?
Yep.
Here's the punt. It's a high kick, going to be short, and I think Marshall's going to have to watch it bounce helplessly, and he'll hope it doesn't take a Caroline roll. And really it doesn't, because now the Blue Devils are going to down it at about the Culpeper 48. So outstanding field position for the Blue Devils as they send the offense back on the field for the second time tonight. 6:43 to go in this one. Steve, any thoughts about both teams at this point?
Well, right now, both teams, I think, are just feeling each other out here and seeing what they're each are doing offensively and defensively. And now Culpeper is now going on the offensive for their second offensive series of the quarter. And we're going to see if they can mix it up a little bit. If they're going to stick with the run, or they're going to try to open it up. We'll see.
I think they go back with Devon Cooper back there here on 1st and 10. He is the ball carrier. Nice cut, making a couple players miss, but then Caroline closed in quickly as he got across midfield out to the Caroline 49. That's a pickup of 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelley Blue Book fair trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. That's Battlefield Automotive, 540-547-3673. Clock running, approaching that midway mark of this first quarter. We have a whistle and stoppage with 6:09 to play here in the first. We are at Caroline High School, home of the Cavaliers, and we're scoreless about midway through this first quarter. And the Blue Devils will be looking at 2nd and 7 when they resume play.
Yeah, it looks like they got an equipment issue, and officials are talking to the other sideline.
Steve, I'm thinking right now, you're looking at A.J. Marshall, wide left as your receiver, being matched up there against Richard Lindsay.
Is he a freshman? It looks small.
Well, he is. Let's see, his grade or his class is, I'll take a look at here in just a second. I think he's a sophomore. Go back to Cooper straight ahead and nothing doing. And now this is going to put the Blue Devils and Bennett Southern, we would think, in a passing situation here.
It would, Mark, and I do like what your observation was. I'd be sitting there getting my tallest receiver against 6. He's a little guy, he might be quick, but throw it up in the air and let your receiver go get it.
Number 6 is a reference to Caroline's Richard Lindsay, who will graduate in the class of 2025. So this is 2022. That would make him what?
Freshman.
Freshman, yeah. All right, so here is 3rd down and 7 for the Blue Devils from their own 49-yard line. 5:20, clock ticking, first quarter, no score. Big 3rd down here for the Blue Devils. Southern throwing. He's got Plaster. Plaster has it, fighting for extra yardage. Hard to bring down. It looks like they're going to finally get him down inside the 20-yard line. And Steve, that was a good pass, was a good catch, and I really was impressed with Cole Plaster's run or yards after catch.
Big yards after the catch, and that's what Bennett just did. What we were talking about, pick on him. Plaster found that seam right there in that little zone coverage there, and and Sutherland put it right on the money, and then, of course, Plaster had good yards after that catch. Good play.
All the way down to the Caroline 16. That was a pickup of 33 yards on the play. Longest play from scrimmage for either team as the Blue Devils have a new set of downs. Devin Polari gets his first call tonight, goes over right tackle, lowers his shoulder, and gets down a little check the spot. Line of scrimmage was the 16. Steve's going to be a little difficult seeing the spots here tonight. I may have picked up about 4 yards.
Yep, they're going to say a 4-yard run, Mark. Good eye.
Well, we're in somewhat of a unique situation, don't you think? It's great to be here. We had a great drive here. I didn't know that we could take country roads to Caroline. It was very scenic.
Yes, it was.
If we go back that way tonight, we'll be thinking about those four-legged deer, won't we?
Yes, we will.
All right, here is 2nd and 6 now from the 13 for the Blue Devils. Back to the run they go. And this means Devon Cooper, rather. Now the Blue Devils will be looking at a 3rd down and probably about 5, maybe 4. And go ahead.
I was going to say, Mark, that's what Devon Cooper's got to be working more in practice. He ran a little bit too upright there. Get down a little bit lower than pad level and go in there. And you might be able to. He's quick. He's got good feet. He can shift good. If he's lowered, provide himself a lower center of gravity, he won't get stood up there in the hole.
And so here it is, 3rd and 3 now. Blue Devils are in the red zone at Caroline's 10-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield behind Bennett Sutherland, and they're going to go back to Cooper straight ahead, and that's going to be nowhere near enough for a 1st down as Caroline rises to the occasion on defense there. And it looked like it was number 1 Malik Johnson coming up to make the initial hit and get credit for most of that tackle. Now you have a 4th down. Do you go for it here, or do you send that field goal?
No, they're going to go for it here. On 4th and 3, but they keep trying to run it right up that middle. They need to get Cooper on that edge.
Well, they have Devon Cooper. They have Devin Polari back there behind Bennett Sutherland. Here on 4th and 2. They do a long snap count, brings in a penalty flag. So is it going to be a delay of game, or did one of the teams jump?
Well, the ball's on the 9. It looks like it's going to be against Caroline. So is it going to be, they're going to mark off the whole full 5. So it gives Blue Devils 1st and goal, Mark.
And coming in is Charles Holland, and coming to the sideline here for arrest is Devon Cooper. So if that's a 5-yard penalty, that'll make it 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Well, Steve, you might want to warm up your vocal cords. I got a feeling they're going to try to punch it in here, and Devin Polari may play a role in this one.
I agree.
1st and goal from the 4. Fake it to Polari. Here's Sutherland dragged down for a loss and a sack. And it's courtesy of Malik Collins of Caroline.
He came in untouched, Mark. You can't, if you're going to run that naked bootleg like that off play action, you better make sure you account for all the defenders across the line of scrimmage. They didn't do that. They left him wide open. He came in, and Sutherland didn't have a chance.
Well, apparently he lost 8 yards. Brings up 2nd and goal from the 12. Good play right here to keep it a 4-down possession for them.
That was just a poor scheme, poor blocking on that.
2nd and goal now from the 12-yard line. Polari, ball carrier, picking his way, fighting, surging forward, and it looks like they're going to stop him at about the 5-yard line. So he got back that lost yardage, brings up a 3rd down and goal. I'm going to think from about the 5, Steve, and that's 2-down territory for sure.
Yeah, they just used Devin as that battering ram, and he went in there. Now he's coming off, going to bring Cooper on.
Right, so Cooper comes back in the game as Devon Cooper, number 16. Number 7, of course, is Blue Devil quarterback Bennett Sutherland. Going to send 2 receivers to the left. One is Holland, number 10. That's David Holland. In the slot there is Garrett Damewood, left side. And 1 receiver to the right as well. Sutherland going to throw for the end zone. Watch out, this one. It looks like it's caught. And he's in for the touchdown, Steve. That's from
touchdown.
4th down. 4 yards, I'm sorry.
Touchdown, Blue Devils. And it was Sutherland too.
Did you get the?
No, I didn't get the number. I want to say.
May have been 16 there. It's so far away
Yep,
from
it's Cooper.
Devon Cooper. So that's a 4-yard touchdown pass. Makes it 6-0, 48.2 seconds to play in this first quarter. I came in tonight thinking, Steve, this is with Caroline 0-3 and the Blue Devils, 1-3, that they had a good matchup here tonight, skill-wise, talent-wise. R.J. Uribe's point after is up and good. 7-0 our score, 48.2 seconds to play in this first quarter. Steve, that drive started from the Culpeper 48-yard line, so they did have outstanding field position. They did take advantage of it. And this broadcast is brought to you in part by Fountain Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons, 825-3530. And I want to mention Cash Imprints as well. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. Up to 48.2 seconds to play in the first quarter, 7-0. And what did you think about that drive? It looks like the Blue Devils had a couple hiccups, but they sort of rebounded from those.
They did, Mark. I agree. One of the hiccups, though, was they had given back a gift from Caroline, but jumping off sides on a 4th and 2. That gave them 1st and goal, and then 4 plays later, they knock it in, and with Cooper catching it in the end zone.
R.J. Uribe is teeing it up for the Blue Devils, who leads 7-0 here late in the first quarter. We are at Caroline High School, Milford, Virginia. As I mentioned, a nice, a long but a very nice drive down here tonight. Johnny Krawchuk, Steve Peacock, and myself, Mark O'Connell. And, of course, back in the studio, Nicole Wooten. Nicole, we appreciate what you do. As here's Uribe's kickoff. Coming and getting up under it is a return man here, Malik Johnson. Forced out of bounds near the 31, well, they call it the 31-yard line. So Caroline takes over at that spot. Well, this broadcast also brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. That's hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center. Also, K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies. Now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School, K&M, grass to trees, they aim to please. All right, Caroline back on offense. And they're going to have it at the 32-yard line.
See what our defense, we can force another 3-and-out mark.
Caroline goes on the ground, tried on the right side. We get out close to about the 35-yard line, and that's it. Devin Polari in on the tackle, as well as a couple other Blue Devils, and the ball carrier that time was number 9, Vladimir Josin. Interesting name.
It is. When I expect defensively here with Culpeper, try to get pressure on their quarterback. Make sure, though, that they've got gap covered, because Caroline, that there can be sneaky. Number 9 can be really sneaky and get in there and break it loose. So they got to be very well aware the gaps are, and they got to play sound football.
May not get another play off before the quarter expires, and they don't. So we've played one here at Caroline High School, where our score is Blue Devils 7, Cavaliers nothing. We'll take a break and come back for the second quarter. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
All right, start of the second quarter here at Caroline High School. Cavaliers on offense looking at 2nd and 6 from the 36. They trail 7-0. Back to the run they go. Trying to spring free. Ball carrier gets across the 45-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards on the play for Caroline. Actually out to the 46. And that looks like enough for a first down for the Cavaliers. Well, the Cavaliers need to put something together here offensively for their team. Steve, this is their third possession, and the first two really didn't amount for anything. It was sort of 3 and out, and both times. And now Caroline a little bit on the move here with the first down.
Yeah, there was a good handoff, and they found a good hole, but Culpeper just got to tighten that up. And they just did on that play. Gang tackling.
Yeah, on running back Javon Morris. And then Jakari Edwards makes the tackle for the Blue Devils, and there's a penalty flag down on Justine.
It looks like it might be holding against Cavaliers. We'll see. Came in late. Well, it could be a personal foul.
If you're just tuning in, our score is 7-0 in favor of the Blue Devils, and they scored late in the first quarter, and the defense has held Caroline in check so far, and now this big penalty will push the Cavaliers back. We are in the opening minute here of this second quarter at Caroline High School, Milford, Virginia.
And it was a personal foul, Mark, so it's a 15-yarder.
All right, as they mark this one off, we'll tell you this broadcast, we are live this year, and our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. All right, as they mark this one off, as you said, a big one, 15-yarder. Well, those are the ones that make coaches cringe, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, Mark, because they're the drive killers. And but it's good for Culpeper because that's what they want to see now. What you want to tell your defense, don't give up a big play.
Well, it pushes the ball back to the Cavalier 34-yard line. And they're looking at about a 2nd and 20 here. All right, quarterback a little bit in trouble. Jakari Edwards gets him by the jersey, slows him up for his teammates to come over to assist. So another tackle really for a lead tackle there by Jakari Edwards.
It was, Mark, and good, and he was good he was there because if he got loose, he was in that second level, and with his shiftiness, he could have made a big gainer out of that play. So Culpeper's got to watch. They got to, like you said, they got to be recognizing the gaps, and they got to make sure they're gap present. In other words, there's a player in those gaps along that D line, and that means for your linebackers have got to be very mobile against a team like this.
Well, let's check Caroline. They go with the quarterback, Miles Holmes, number 7. He's got one running back there behind him. He splits the receivers, 2 to the right. They go to the ball carrier here. Let's check that number, if you will.
Number 1.
Okay, number 1 is Malik Johnson. Let's check Malik's. He picked up yardage, and he got out to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 10, but it's 4th down and about 11.
Yep. And again, Culpeper needs to be wary here because they're going into punt formation, but Caroline's been known to run a fake.
Well, will they pull out every stop tonight? We'll see. This looks like Ty Williams, the punter, number 81, stands and kicks at about the 30-yard line. This one doesn't look to be returned, and it's going to bounce dead inside the 40-yard line. So once again, Steve, Blue Devils go back on offense, and they have really good field position. Anything past the 35 would be considered good, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And now see if we can dominate the line of scrimmage like we did in the first quarter and just, get off some good runs and give Sutherland time to really use play action because he knows that's how you're going to move the football against Caroline.
How do you like being here tonight, Steve?
I do.
Mm-hmm. Very pleasant.
It's a little different than, broadcasting from the visitor side. Good thing we brought our coats. A little chilly.
Well, it's a good thing Johnny brought an extra because, the irony is I've got all these jackets with Culpeper Media, another logo, and I'm going, why didn't I bring one? But you don't expect it to be cold after, you have a season of it being hot for so long. Devon Cooper was the ball carrier.
A couple days ago, it was 90.
Yeah. But I don't know about you, but I was ready for a cool down.
I am too. I'm ready for the fall to begin, and it began last Thursday or yesterday.
22nd, I think, is technically, yeah.
So we definitely in the fall season, and the night feels like it. But that's a good there run by for Culpeper. Now see what they're going to do now.
On 2nd and 4 from their own 43-yard line. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's 7-0 Blue Devils. They scored their points in the first quarter. We're about 3 minutes into the second. Blue Devils back on offense, looking at a 2nd down and 4 from their own 43-yard line. Bennett Sutherland, of course, is your quarterback. Trips to the right. They stayed on the run. Reversing direction here is Cooper. And he tried, but the Caroline Cavaliers had the play covered side to side there, and they stopped him pretty much at the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a yard on the play.
Well, Mark, I made a good observation right there. You're allowing your receivers to come out of the huddle and stand out there in their formation. Why the linemen and the quarterback and the running back are in the huddle? Well, what you're doing is you're telling Caroline, we're not going to throw it, we're going to run it. So when you go and that's how he was able to stop that run right there. They know. So if I was the coach, I'd be telling all my offensive players, you get in the huddle and then you break out into your positions after the huddle.
Mm-hmm. Now here on 3rd and 3, let's see if they go with the run or attempt to pass. Caroline showing pressure. Here they come. They hand off. Running back, not going to go anywhere. They're going to stop him just shy of the line of scrimmage as that was number 22, J.Q. Williams, the ball carrier, and R.J. Uribe and the punting team on for the Blue Devils.
And Mark, don't want to second guess the coaches, but why wasn't Polari running that ball to get the tough yards inside? He's your big battering ram. I would have handed it off to him. Yeah. He'll get 3 yards. He'll get 3 yards for you.
Well, it's a good question. Interesting to see what the coach's philosophy would be on that one. R.J. Uribe standing at his own 30-yard line. He's going to kick away from the lone safety back there for Caroline. He's going to watch helplessly as it takes a Blue Devil roll, and they're going to down it inside the 15-yard line. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book fair trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. That's Battlefield Automotive, 540-547-3673. Steve, try saying that fast 5 times straight.
I don't think so. I'd sound like Goober.
And also want to mention this broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473.
So, now with the defense, you got to sit there and hold Caroline to a 3 and out. You got them pinned back deep in their own territory. That means if you can hold them, you're going to get good field position. You're going to flip the field on them and be able to do another score here before the half's out.
Well, there's a penalty flag down, and this team is coming back, likely to repunt this one as R.J. Uribe comes back into the game.
We'll see what the call is.
Yeah.
It must against Culpeper.
Want to see the, looks like the return man back there is Keegan Brown.
That's a smart call on the Caroline coach to make him repunt it.
Well, they had no chance for a return, and they were giving up, bad field position. So if you can make the Blue Devils re-kick it, puts a little bit more pressure on your Uribe to try to duplicate what he just did.
Too many people on the field, Mark. That's what the call was.
Yeah, we're only going to let you play with 11. Yeah. You might as well not send that extra player up.
Exactly. That's a mistake, though. Chalk that up because they had him deep pinned in their territory. Let's see what.
Right, mental mistake because somebody was out there who was not supposed to be out there. This one takes a bounce, and Uribe nowhere near the kick he had last time. So Caroline, certainly the benefactor of that penalty, and they put some pressure on Uribe. It was really a bad snap. He was lucky that it took a good bounce for him.
It did, Mark, and he had to hurry too. And so again, that's not going to give you a good punt return. Smart play call, smart call on the Caroline coach to make him do it again. Because look how much they improved. They were going to be starting at their own 16.
Yeah, and all the way they're on the Culpeper side of the midfield stripe at the CCHS 49.
That's almost like a 38-yard or 40-yard gain.
Well, Caroline goes back on offense with the best field position it's had tonight. They trail 7-0. 6:48 to play here in this one. They go to the run, and this one produces some good results, except there's a penalty flag down. It looks like the ball carrier there was number 9, Vladimir Josen for Caroline.
We'll see what the call is. Is it face mask against or hold against holding Caroline?
Yeah, you're right. It's going to be a holding. Man, the white hat we can see from a distance is giving us that indication. So that'll push Caroline back and negate a good run by that Caroline running back. Well, we mentioned this broadcast is brought to you in part by several different companies, including Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. 6:37 to play here in the second quarter at Caroline High School. Right now it's Blue Devils 7, Cavaliers nothing. And after the penalty, the line of scrimmage now will be at the Caroline 44-yard line. Caroline will send 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They've got an up back behind that offensive line. Big number 14 there, and he goes in motion. Now he sits back up. Back to the run they go. Trying to get to the outside and to the edge, forced out of bounds. Was the ball carrier, number 9, Vladimir Josen for Caroline. Got back some of that lost yardage. Going to bring up second down and about 12 here.
See, the defense right now with Culpeper is, number 9 is going to want to run it, but also you got to be dangerous so that quarterback can run it too. And so we'll see if they can put a little pressure here, because now it brings up, like I said, second down 11. Maybe a pass play here for Caroline. We'll see.
On second down and 11. Ball at midfield. Blue Devils bring pressure. Caroline picks it up. They throw long. And he had a receiver out there, Steve. That was number 1, Malik Johnson. Had a step, just overthrowing that. Had 6 points conceivably written all over.
Mark, if he could have been a little bit more accurate with that throw and he dropped it in there on a dime, he would have been 6, because he had the Culpeper defender back there beat by a couple steps. And that's when you have to, you go, whoo, not on my watch right now. But again, they're probably going to go back to it, so you better have a safety rotating over and help, because you left your cornerback all out there on the island by himself. And I don't know if he's going to be fast enough to stay with him.
Steve, get a look at Caroline's center out there. He's really got some good size to him.
Yep.
Trying to pick up his number. I think he may be the largest player out there, and he's playing the center position. Here on 3rd and 11 is Caroline. Quarterback stepping up, makes a move, jukes the defender, looking for more running yards, and he's going to have enough for what looks like a Cavalier first down.
See, again, that they didn't stay very positive in their gap control, Mark. They got away from it, and that the quarterback made him play for it.
That's a reference to Donnell Douglas, number 2 there.
Yeah, they had to, right there in that play, they just came their defensive line just kind of, instead of trying to take out the offensive lineman and create a pile up there, they just ran straight up, and of course Caroline just ran right into where the defenders were, and a big gap, and they will pick up big yardage.
Yeah, it was actually Miles Holmes, the quarterback, rather. This time they go to the running back, number 9, and that is Vladimir Josen.
Big number 63 in there.
For Culpeper.
Culpeper.
Tucker Dean in there, as well as number 63. You mentioned Jason Young.
Yep.
Clock running, under 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. You're looking at the Blue Devil defensive unit there, particularly that defensive front. Ball at the 35-yard line. Second down and 7, Cavaliers here. Quarterback is Miles Holmes, number 7. Devin Polari shows pressure, backs off. Holmes throws. Got a receiver out there. It's number 14, William Millsap.
Mark, big number 71's the center.
Big number 71. Yeah, he's got some size to him, doesn't he?
Yep.
His name is Sean. Let's see, Sean Mertig. Mertig.
Doesn't say the size though, does it?
No, it doesn't. But isn't it true your eyes are better than mine? True or false?
True. Yeah, I'm me wearing glasses.
I probably should be. On third down and two. Third down and 2 here. Cavaliers go the run, breaking the tackle and fighting for extra yardage. Going to be really close to a Cavalier first down here. We'll check the spot.
See what forward momentum where they're going to give it to him.
Yeah.
And it says it's going to be short, Mark.
Well, it's going to be about half a yard short then.
Let's see. Yep.
Yeah, the 29-yard line.
So it'll be 4th and 2. Now, if you Culpeper, you put all the beef up front, and you sit there. They're going to try to 4th and 1. It's a short 2, long 1.
Looks like Malik Tunstall has checked into the game. Big number 33.
And
Going to line up on that tight end spot for them on a 4th and short. And we've got a stoppage here, timeout. It looks like Caroline may be calling a timeout.
Yep.
To think about this one. Well, you know, our timeout sponsor is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members in the Culpeper community. UVACreditUnion.org.
Yeah, you know, Caroline's want to look at their options. That's why they called timeout. Plus, the play clock was winding down as well. Now, if you're Culpeper, you're going to have to be just right up front. You got some big beef on that Caroline offensive line, so you know
Really
they're going to try to fire off that ball. So you better have your linebackers, especially Polari and number 34 for Culpeper. That's a Riley. Is it
Vineyard? Yeah, Riley Vineyard.
Yep. They've got.
Well, look at here. You see the down marker. It's 4th down, and look where they get for a first down. That's like not even a half a yard.
Right, so you want to line up tight as you can get and have your linebacker stop that initial thrust, have your defense line stop the initial thrust of the offensive line, and the linebacker back there be ready to make the play. Because they're probably just going to do with a forward sneak. And if I was the offense coach, that's what I do. If you only had to go a few inches, don't.
Would you put your quarterback under center then?
Yes, I wouldn't put him back in shotgun.
Well, they haven't been under center all night, though. At least not at this point. Now they want to measure.
Well, the coach can call for the measurement as well.
3:08 to play here in the second quarter. This broadcast brought to you in part by CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing, outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center. Also, K&M Lawn and Garden and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please.
Mark, it's just a half football short.
A half a football short. Well, you would think quarterback sneak if he goes under center, but who knows? They've got some big linemen. Who knows if some of them don't become ball carriers tonight.
You see big number 74 coming in.
For Culpeper, yeah. And when we say big number 74, we're referring to Jaden Johnson, yeah. All right, here it is after the timeout. Caroline has it, 4th down, really less than a half a yard. They don't need much to move these sticks. Let's see what they decide to do here. They go to the running back, spins his way from. Here's a penalty flag coming late in the game, late in the play. The running back spun off of the initial defender and was one tackle away from going to the end zone.
Could it be taunting against Caroline? It might be. Unsportsmanlike. See what the call is.
Well, we're getting the calls a little more quickly.
Dead ball. Yep. Unsportsmanlike, Caroline.
Well, good call, Steve. You saw that one. So rather than first down.
Well, they'll give him first. It's a dead
that's
ball,
true.
But they'll bring him back 15 yards.
So they'll bring him back 15 yards. It'll still be a first down then, right? Because it's a dead ball foul.
Yeah. Again, a gift for Culpeper. And the running back stood up and taunted the Culpeper player. And they're going to nail you every time. I don't know why kids continue to do it.
Well, makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you act like you've been there before. I mean, that's all I always say. And what's that going to do? I mean, just what it did, you just hurt your team. Good for Culpeper's benefit, though.
I can imagine some of our former high school coaching icons like Shirley Gray. Can you imagine him tolerating that?
Oh, God.
No, you wouldn't want to know. No way. But anyway, he's one of the gentlemen I miss having around and knowing. The legendary Shirley Gray.
Yep.
Send out compliments to the family and, getting to know them over the years. But miss him, of course, like they do. And here it is now, first and 10 from the 28-yard line. Caroline sputtering some on offense. They show glimpses, Steve, of some really good potential out there, but it seems like they're just sort of, would you say, to use that Western or cowboy metaphor, they're just shooting themselves in the foot.
I think so, Mark. They absolutely are. And so let's see what, Culpeper can take advantage of it. Here we go.
All right, 1st and 10 now. Caroline from the Blue Devil 38-yard line, rather. They got a big back on that running back. They hand it off instead to Malik Johnson, and the Blue Devils do a nice job. Another penalty flag comes in. Looks like Devin Polari and Jakari Edwards combined for the tackle. What'd you see on this one? It made that yellow flag come in.
There's going to be a holding call here. It's going to be against Caroline.
And this is another example of how Caroline is really hurting itself.
No, it's not a holding call. What's the call here? Legal shift.
Oh, no, he says holding.
Oh, holding? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was holding because I thought the referee made another.
Well, guess who knew it was holding? Johnny.
Yep.
My man behind the camera.
All right.
And I was getting ready to ask you about him, and now I wish I had, because not only is he doing a good job of filming, he saw
it.
What the problem was. Another big penalty against Caroline pushes them back to the Culpeper 48. We're down to 2:20 and counting here in the second quarter. 7-0 our score in favor of the Blue Devils. Caroline showing some promise, but they tend to pick up those big penalties at inopportune times as the quarterback spun away from the initial defender for Culpeper and turned nothing into a little something here.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Griffin Tanner thought he had him for a sack, but he slipped underneath his grip. And good thing he was, because he would have been flagged for a horse collar. So now brings up 2nd and 13. So he got about 7 yards of the penalties back.
Malik Johnson was the ball carrier. The clock continues to run, a minute 35. You're in the second quarter. Malik Johnson has 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Go back to the run. And they're going to stuff him near the 40-yard line. Is a running back there, Vladimir Josin. Now 3rd and 11.
Big number 56 in there, Mark, at the bottom of that pile.
Larry
Williams.
Larry Williams has been a mainstay for this team, hasn't he?
Sure has. He's their glue in that defensive front, along with Tucker Dean as well. And you got number 6 for the linebacker is playing well, and that's Jakari Edwards. Is moving along with Devin Polari. They're really playing well back there now. They, big 3rd and 11 play here, Mark.
I don't get a sense of urgency from Caroline, Steve. They're down 7-0, 40-some seconds left. Here comes pressure by Polari. Quarterback runs away from it, throws on the run, incomplete. And he had a receiver out there open, and that was number 15, Keegan Brown for Caroline. So off the mark there, but he had him open.
Yeah, he did. He just found Culpeper was playing like a covered 2 zone there, and they just found that seam when he rolled out there. But again, it was a bad throw, and that's what hurt Caroline. But they're going to go for it here. 4th
I think
and 11.
they should. It's 4th and 11, but you have the ball at the 39 of Culpeper, and you only have 34 seconds remaining. So if you don't get it, you're not going to be asking your defense to really have to withstand a lot with 30 seconds remaining.
And they get the ball to start second half, too.
That's true, yeah. All right, here it is, 4th down. Throwing, plenty of time. Up in the air and caught. Upended, and the receiver a little shaken up there, but I tell you what, that was, let's see, that was Wilson Millsop.
Yeah, he went up and got him. Or looked like he got the wind knocked out of him when he came down to that ball.
I have to admire him for holding on to it, and he picked up a big 1st down on that play. They're attending to him now.
Yeah,
Maybe you're right, maybe just to get the wind knocked out of him.
I thought the ball was going to come loose after that hit. It was a clean hit by the Culpeper defender. So, but again, Mark gave up the big play right before half.
William Millsop there, number 14, is the player who caught the ball, got a 1st down, a little shaken up. And the clock stopped with 27.1 seconds showing here in the 2nd quarter, 7-0 Blue Devils, but Caroline now, and he's up on his feet as the player Millsop. Big catch, big 1st down, gets a round of applause as he goes to the sidelines, and Caroline now have a new set of downs with 27.1 seconds to play, and they're going to have it. Let's check the spot, Steve. A little hard to pick up here.
Let's see. It's going to look like the 14-yard line, Mark.
Yeah, the folks up at the scoreboard haven't adjusted that from the 39. It's definitely not at the 39-yard line, is it?
Looks like it's going to be at the 13-yard line.
All right.
1st and goal.
Be
1st down.
All right, going to be a 1st down from that spot. Clock has resumed running. We're down to 20 seconds and counting. Let's see if Caroline can convert here. Here comes the pressure. Running away from it. The quarterback diving for the end zone.
He's down.
Teammates think he's in, but no signal. He's not in. I suspect he's awfully close. We'll call a timeout. We'll have one more play here with 4.5 seconds to play in the 2nd quarter. Looks like the spot's about the 1-yard line, Steve. He got awfully close. Not close enough that time, but they still have time here. If you're Caroline, you figure they'll try to punch it in here without too much problem. Although you don't like the quarterback in the gun on a play like this.
No, I don't. I like you to sneak it in. You can sneak it in from under center, but if he does get on the gun, I'd be telling the defense for Culpeper, go after him, because he's going to either try to run it or hand it off. He's not going to throw it here. So they're going to get behind that big offensive line and see if they can punch it in. And, you got to give that number 14's back in the game. You got to give him credit for holding on to that ball. He took a big hit.
That's what kept the drive going, wasn't it? Otherwise, it would have been. Otherwise, they'd have turned it over on downs instead. The receiver Millsop got that clutch catch, gave him 1st down, and now the Caroline has it 1st and goal from the 1. Blue Devil side makes a little noise. Miles Holmes is number 7 for Caroline. In the backfield, expected to get the snap, and behind him is number 19.
Culpeper calls timeout.
Javon Morris. So Culpeper calls a timeout, where our timeout sponsor is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. Visit UVA Community Credit Union at uvacreditunion.org. 8.4 seconds to play here in the 2nd quarter, and Steve, the Caroline has it 1st and goal from, looks like, the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, you want your defense to sell out, all of them, right there on this play, because chances are they're not going to throw that ball. They're going to run it either off tackle, right or left. So the linebackers got to be aware of that. They got to stuff the hole.
Well, if you're going by,
and keep good gap control. You better be in your gaps where they are.
I wonder if somebody may have fallen asleep up there in that press box, because the ball's at the 1-yard line. It says 4th and 11 from 39. I'm pretty sure we're not at the 39-yard line.
Well, that's true too, but
taking a break.
Yeah,
all right.
Hadn't figured that out yet, but
from about, it looks like it's about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, the 4th and 11 too. So.
Yeah, it's pretty not. I'm pretty sure it's not 4th and 11. All right. Now they bunch up here on 1st and goal from the 1. Looks like the Blue Devils have stopped this one, and that was the that snap to Miles Holmes. So he didn't get in. I'll bring up second down, and now 2.5 seconds. I suspect Caroline's used this last time out.
Yeah, I do too. I'm surprised they even got time. That was a quick 2 seconds, wasn't it? It was 4.5.
Well, this would be a huge defensive stop if the Blue Devils can come through here, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Right before this first half expires, and as you pointed out, Caroline gets the ball to start the third quarter.
And look for them now to run that same play, but to the other side. And they've got a big offensive line out there. There you go. Sell out again like they just did. Just sell out and let the linebackers get in or attack on the point of attack and be right there.
All right, watch out for Caroline's number 7, Miles Holmes, the quarterback there. He hands off. And it looks like the handoff is to number 19, Javon Morris. And Morris is in from 1 yard out. Touchdown Caroline, and the Cavaliers are an extra point away from tying this ball game before the intermission.
Yeah, that was a good play call there by the running back, and he was able to lower his head, lower his shoulders, and he got pad level mark, and he was able to pick up that yard.
Well, we'll look back at this possession, and we'll say that key catch was made by William Millsap, where he got the first down, went up for it, and was tackled hard, was down for a minute, recovered, but that kept the Caroline hopes alive. They line up for the 2-pointer here. Chugging his way forward, and it doesn't look like he got in. Was the running back pick up his number here momentarily? Last man up. Well, he didn't get in. That was number 19, Javon Morris, who had the touchdown a moment ago. Well, that's the end of the first half, Steve. What'd you think of it? Well, I guess we'll talk about it when we come back. Let's take a break. We'll come back for the start of the third quarter after the intermission. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network. You're watching Blue Devils football. Stay tuned.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
All right, welcome back to Caroline High School. Enter our broadcast. It's halftime. Moments away from the third quarter kickoff. I'm Mark O'Connell, along with Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk behind the camera. Well, we are at Caroline High School, and we are in the stands on the Culpeper side of the football field, Steve. And what did you think of that first half, 7-6?
Well, entertaining first half. Good for Culpeper for the longest time because they looked like they were controlling the line of scrimmage and, playing very well, but via the penalties by Caroline. But at the end, they kind of got a little bit loose on defense and allowed Caroline to creep back in, and they got a big play on 4th and 20. That was a killer on that big. When you have 4th down 20 and that team's going for it, you better make sure you keep everybody in front of you and don't pick up that 20 yards. But they allowed a receiver from Caroline to get behind, and he made a good play in the ball, and it was a good tackle by Culpeper. But heads up, the Caroline receiver held on to the ball. Then the next, few plays, they took it in the end zone, and they went for 2. Didn't get it. So that's what the score is. Caroline is behind Culpeper 7-6.
And we don't know why they went for 2, do we?
No.
Because it would have been a tied game with the conventional point after, but they opted to go for 2 and didn't, so it's 7-6 in favor of the Blue Devils. I would say the play of the game, particularly on the Caroline side of things, has to be that 4th and long where William Millsop, the receiver, went up in the air, caught it for first down yardage, hit hard when he was up in the air, legal hit, went down, momentarily shaken up, then left the field on his own accord, and then came back late in the game. But that was certainly the key play for Caroline tonight.
I agree with you, Mark. And, and it was a good play. I mean, the kid held on. Kudos to him. But that was a jarring hit, and most receivers would have dropped that ball. But now, like I said, now it's time. Culpeper is going to have to play defense. Caroline's going to get the football. And I don't know, we're still waiting, I guess, for everybody to get the festivities off the field. And
Steve, don't you think philosophically, since you and I are close in age, that it's really important to get to a point in life where you can laugh at yourself?
Yeah.
And I could be laughing at myself right now because the viewing audience can't see me, but if they could just see what I have on my head. You could see what I had on my head. My head.
There you go.
So we are improvising. We are trying to make the best of the situation. Johnny thought of everything tonight.
We do everything for our fans, right?
We do it for the fans. It's for the love of the hey, we love the fans, man.
That's right. I mean, you
got to bring the game to the fans. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
And Johnny even loaned me a hoodie, and it's twice my size, but it's keeping me warm.
Keeping you warm.
And I got light around my head, like you're doing that construction work, you can't see.
Yep.
So I'm doing this tonight. Now I can see the rosters. What do you think
look
about
like
that?
A
A minor.
A minor going in.
And what did Neil Young say? A minor for
a heart
of gold. Yeah. I've been a minor for a heart of gold.
Old man looking mine.
Well, back to the action on the gridiron. R.J. Uribe kicks off for the Blue Devils. This is going to be returned from the 20-yard line. Return man breaks one tackle, trying to break a second one, and that was Marvin Morris of Caroline on the return. He's going to give his Cavaliers good field position to start this third quarter. They only trail by 1 point, and we won't get a chance to talk to Caroline's coach, but it would be interesting to know why they opted for the 2-point try rather than to try it tied up into that second quarter.
That tells me they don't have a good field goal kicker, Mark. That's all that's saying. They don't have anyone to have confidence in them to get them to sure extra points, so they go for 2.
Well, Caroline, beneficiary here of having outstanding field position to start this third quarter. They're going to start from their own 41. And in that offensive backfield, Miles Holmes is the quarterback, number 7. He's got 2 receivers, both to the left and to the right. He's going to throw out there far side. He's got a receiver turning on the Jets and breaking a tackle or 2 as a penalty flag comes in at the end of this play. And let's check the number on this receiver.
Number 4 was the receiver, Mark.
All right, that's Marvin Morris.
And it might look like Culpeper might have a little extracurricular activity after he was out of bounds. We'll see what the call is.
So Caroline, after the break, comes out. They predominantly had run the ball, but they throw here, and they picked up first down yardage. And now they're going to tack on the penalty against the Blue Devils. Is this going to be that 15-yarder?
Yep. 15-yard face mask at the end of the play.
Look at this as they march this one off, and now Culpeper finds itself defensively. The team finds itself in a hole because now Caroline has it already in the red zone and a new set of downs. Let's check the spot. And I may get you to help me with that, Steve, because we're trying to pick it up from up here in the stands.
I tried to find where the 30, 40. Looks like it's not on the 41, so now it's moved up 15 yards.
Looks like the 25.
Yeah. Just right inside the red zone. Not quite inside the red zone yet.
That's correct then. If you put it at the 25. Red zone, what, 20 and closer. Well, they picked up, they netted 16 yards after all that, didn't they?
Yep.
From the 25. Another throw, far side, same receiver, Morris. All right, now Caroline must have seen something, Steve. They're going to these quick strikes.
Yeah, because the corner for Culpeper are playing too soft, Mark. They're playing way too soft, and they're given a 10-yard cushion. Well, If I was the quarterback, you're going to give it to me. If I was the wide receiver, just step over the line, scrimmage, turn around, ball there. You can still get about 8 yards before Culpeper reacts to it. They got to man up there in that corner, especially if they're going to run that play again. See how far they're off. Now they're creeping a little bit closer.
2nd down and 2.
But they're 10 yards off down in here on the left.
Calling it from the 14. Back to the run. Left tackle. Breaks the tackle. Running back upended. After he got inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 6. And another first down for the Cavaliers. They have it 1st and goal now from the 6. And the ball carrier was Javon Morris.
It looks like they're playing with a lot more energy in the second half than Caroline did in the first half.
Well, I think their play calling is better for them, Steve. They're doing right now, I think, what they're really what their skill set is.
Yep.
You know, this is what's working for them. And if I were them, you'd figure they'll stick to it. There's a fake. Quarterback going to keep it. That's Miles Holmes. Blue Devils not faked out too much on the play. Line of scrimmage was the 6. It looks like he got to the 4. That's where it'll be 2nd and goal from that spot.
Yep.
10:58, clock running. 3rd quarter, 7-6. Blue Devils. That was our score at the intermission. Caroline here on the move.
See what they got Culpeper's defenders knocked back a little bit. They need to get some penetration here, especially, you got to give kudos to the offensive line. Caroline, they're doing their job. They're big up front.
Miles Holmes, the quarterback, number 7. Devon Morris behind him. Morris, the ball carrier, dragged down. And the tackle made by number 53 of Culpeper, Steve.
Tucker.
That's Tucker Dean. No, I'm sorry, 53 is Larry Williams.
Yep.
You know, Tucker Dean is 56.
Yeah, 56 is the one who made it. It's Tucker Dean.
Well, we talked about Larry Williams and Tucker Dean both early in the broadcast, and, just mainstays for this Blue Devil team. But Blue Devil defense on its heels early in this 3rd quarter as the Cavaliers have it here 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line.
The officials gave them to the 3. I think they're being generous right there, but that's.
Quarterback Miles Holmes is number 7. Handoff, running back, nowhere to go. Malik Johnson upended quickly. And it looked like it was Larry Williams again. Coming in for the Blue Devils, Steve, big number 74. That's Jaden Johnson. Is this part of that goal line defense, you think?
Goal line defense, and right now, Mark, that was, looks like the ball is going to be back down to 4. It was a yard loss. Good play there by Culpeper.
It's actually right at the 5, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So he lost a yard, and it makes it 4th and goal from that spot.
The scoreboard saying it's on the 6, but it's actually on the 5.
All right, so here is 4th down. Big down, obviously, for both teams. Caroline looking to take the lead. Culpeper defense looking for the stop. Holmes handing off Morris. Morris, here's a penalty flag coming in. And as Morris still fights for yardage, having a hard time bringing him down. Second effort may have got him into the end zone.
They're not going to give him this. They're not giving him a touchdown. There's going to be too many men on the field against Caroline. If they stop him short of the goal, I'd just take the ball and run your offense because you just kept them out of the end zone.
Well, if that happens, this is going to be a big moment for this Blue Devil defense.
Why would you want to take the penalty to see what the hell?
Oh, holding. I guess you don't have a choice then.
Yep.
Or do you?
No, you can decline it.
Well, why wouldn't you? Well, got to do it. What does the math tell you?
Well, I mean, it's 4th. It was 4th and goal. They did not get in. Okay, the ball. If they took the ball, it's going to be right outside the 1. Now, if you take the holding penalty and push them back 10 yards, and that's what it seems like they're going to try to do. But it's
it's still going to be 4th down, though.
But now you got to tell your defense, if you're going to play it that way, then you better make a play.
So it's 4th down and goal, but let's check the line of scrimmage. 35, 30, 25. Looks like it's about the 21. They're saying it's a 20. That's close enough. Here's Holmes. He's thrown. And incomplete. Pretty good coverage out there. And ball not catchable by the receiver. And so the Blue Devils hold on defense, and that's likely to loom large for this team.
Yeah, it paid off. It was a good play by the defense. They stiffened up and kept them out of the end zone. Now we'll see what we can do on offense. Now we need to answer, though, with our own drive.
Well, we are live, and our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. 8:44 to play here, third quarter action. We'll be looking at the Blue Devil offense for the first time here in the second half. And they'll take over on their own 20. Bennett Sutherland, the quarterback. It's his handoff to number 16 of Culpeper, Steve. That's Devon Cooper. He started the game carrying the ball predominantly for the Blue Devils. He's back now with the nod here in the third quarter as well.
Like I said, he's a good, I think he's a sophomore, Mark, if I'm not mistaken.
Devon Cooper, 16. They have him on the roster as a senior.
Oh, senior, okay. Well, then like I said, he needs to run a little bit lower, center of gravity.
7 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 3. Blue Devils from their own 27. Man in motion, that's Garrett Danewood. Bennett Sutherland. Hand off. Up the middle, and a first down for the Blue Devils. Let's check the ball carrier there. That was number 6, Jakari Edwards.
And Mark, I was getting ready to say, name we haven't really called too much so far in the game. He's out there. It's Cole Plaster.
That's true.
And I know he's been playing defense.
When you know that Cole Plaster is one of these guys for the Blue Devils who, I think he's one of those guys that makes those clutch plays for the team, don't you?
Sure does. He sure does. He's on the sideline right now.
New set of downs, Blue Devils. They have it at the 34-yard line. Bennett Sutherland going to keep it and trying to get by that first tackler. Didn't completely get by him, but he did pick up positive yardage. Was that Sutherland's first carry of the night?
It was, and Cooper's got to learn to block. He just stood there and just let his quarterback run around him. You know, if he would have ran out and blocked ahead of him, he could have kicked out that defensive back. Sutherland could have gained another 10, 15 yards.
Well, as it was, Sutherland picked up 5 yards, makes it 2nd and 5. Here in the third quarter, 7:05 to play, clock running, 7-6 Blue Devils. That was our score at the intermission. Jakari Edwards, the ball carrier. He got behind a good block, and he had a seam there. Went through it, picked up first down yardage, and this seems to be working pretty well for the Blue Devils right now, Steve, with this running game.
I'd keep on it, Mark. I agree with what you're saying is if I was Coach Ford, hey, that train is starting to chug, and let's feed him some wood so we can get some steam going. Let's get the running game going.
8 yards by Jakari Edwards. New set of downs for the Blue Devils. They now have it at their own 47-yard line. 6:40, clock running, third quarter, 7-6 Blue Devils. Bennett Sutherland back there in the gun. He's got a running back on both flanks. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They stay on the ground. And this is Polari, I believe, and Polari really does a nice job of picking his spots and picking up positive yardage. And this is someone you've talked about, Steve. You like him on 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4, and you'd be giving the ball to him.
Because he gets low, Mark. He gets down to pad level. He's not going to sit there and juke you out of the play. He's going to run at you north-south, and he's going to run hard. And that's what if you want somebody like that to get your tough yards.
But you know, I think you're exactly right about him, although I detect a little bit of wiggle on that play as well.
A little bit.
Yeah, he's got some. Ball at the 36-yard line of Caroline, and yet a new set of downs for the Blue Devils. They keep it on the ground. This time, nothing doing. Caroline snuffs this one out, and they were led there by number 55, Ryan Williams. For Caroline, no gain, 2nd and 10. Actually lost about a half a yard.
Well, they backside tackles and guards got to block. Don't just let the guy come. I know they're running away from you, but you know you got to put a hat on somebody because they came right down the line and scrimmage and made the tackle.
2nd down, called 11 from the 37 rather. Bennett Sutherland fakes it, throws it, got a receiver out there in the flat, and Caroline converges rather quickly, but he did pick up positive yardage. We'll check the spot. Looks like it's going to be about 5 yards shy of a Blue Devil first down, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
And who was it?
And about 4.
Who caught it? Was that Plaster? Who caught that ball?
Was it? Number
6.
1-4.
Oh, 1-4.
That's Plaster, yeah.
Yep. 1-4.
Well,
1-6.
1-6. That's Cooper out of the
No,
backfield.
Edwards, number six, Edwards.
Now he's saying 6. Man, that is Jakari Edwards, man.
Give me one,
Good
give me
thing I
two.
had 3 choices. Good thing you gave me 3 guesses, Steve. We got movement on Caroline's side. That's number 42. Going to cost them 5 yards.
And
Who's the guilty person? That's David McCarthy.
And give him first down, too.
Sure did. They needed 3. We'll give them 5 here. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive. Willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book fair trade value along with a free trade appraisal. That's Battlefield Automotive, 540-547-3673. 4:35, clock ticking, third quarter. It is 1st and 10 Blue Devils from the Cavalier 23. Back to the ground they go. This looks like Devin Polari straight ahead. That's how you like him, Steve. And he's good for 3 or 4 yards a pop, isn't
he sure is. I'd keep feeding him, Mark. He's your power running back. Use him to soften up that middle of that defense, then hit him with Cooper or Edwards on the outside.
Picked up 7, brings up 3rd and 3.
Another play that worked here, because Caroline would be napping on it, would be a reverse.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a Blue Devil team that, using the rushing attack, move down the field. And this quarter, speeding right by us here. 3:44 to play. Back to the run they go, and nothing doing this time as Polari ran into a stone wall of blue jerseys. Brings up 3rd and 4. May have lost a yard.
And Caroline's got an injured player. That's what he got his ankle rolled up on.
Yeah. Back on his feet, though.
Number
that was
33.
Number 33 of Caroline. Was
a big kid.
Mm-hmm. Malachi Tunstall, defensive lineman and offensive lineman, will graduate class of 2023. So he is a senior, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's grabbing his ankle.
Well, tell you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. That's Found & Sons at 825-3530. Also, cash imprints, from shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with cash imprints, 317-1473. All right, 3rd down, 4 Blue Devils. They have it at the Caroline 18-yard line.
See what they're going to do here.
Well, here's Bennett Sutherland in the play call. Damewood in motion. Looks to me like they're trying to draw him off sides, or a little bit of confusion there. And now Culpeper's going to have to take a timeout. Well, we mentioned that our timeout sponsor is none other than UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. Visit them on the website at uvacreditunion.org. All right.
So they got to go about 6 yards, right, Mark? Or 5?
Right here, 3rd and 4, it looks like. Yeah. And they got the ball at the Caroline 18.
3rd and 4 or 4th and 4?
They've got 3rd. The marker says, the down marker says 3rd.
That's what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe it flipped over. The other side was a different number.
Right. Well, you've got pretty much 4 choices, Andy. It's 1, 2, 3, or 4.
4, 3, 2, 1, you know.
3rd down.
And you with the funny thing on your head.
I know it. Well, you know, there was a time I couldn't laugh at myself, and now I do it all the time. I do amuse myself, too. So 3rd and 4. Bennett Sutherland, empty backfield for him on the option here to throw. And he's got him in the end zone. Can't hook up with him. But he had that was Cole Plaster, Steve.
Yeah.
Tried to get it to him, and he had a little bit of cushion out there between himself and the defenders, but the ball was not catchable.
Right, it was too, he had to throw that more on a bullet and a rope than sitting there aiming it way high, because Plaster's not very big, so.
You look at Bennett Sutherland with an empty backfield, and you think, all right, he's going to roll out. Likely not going to run it. He's going to look for a receiver. And you mentioned When is Cole Plaster going to be factored into this offensive mix? And they just try to get the ball to him there.
Well, they're not going to Uribe with the kick here, so they're going on it 4th and 5.
And now number 6, that's Jakari Edwards on Sutherland's right flank in that backfield. They fake it to Edwards. Now they throw. They got the receiver open. Is he in? Blue Devils say yes. I'm trying to pick up the number, Steve. It's number 6, Jakari Edwards.
And they're calling him in. Touchdown, Blue Devils. Sutherland to Cooper on the pass play. Great catch, good run, good play call. Blue Devils in zone for 6.
All right, now let's make sure we have the right player. Do you call it Devon Cooper, 16?
No, it was Culpeper, number 6, caught the pass.
Oh, that's Jakari Edwards.
Jakari Edwards,
right.
Excuse me.
9.
Oh,
Well, see, this is the one we can. That was Charles Holland. Then.
Charles Holland then.
Well, R.J. Uribe is going to kick the point after. This kick is up long enough, almost comes out of the stadium, and it's good. So 14-6 in favor of the Blue Devils. So, Steve, this outcome tonight, we got a long way to go, really. Quarter and a whole 4th quarter plus almost 3 minutes here in the 3rd quarter remaining. And you figure that right now, that defensive stop the Blue Devils had when Caroline had the ball last time may be the decisive point in this game.
Mark, you're right. And let's go back, and it was Sutherland to Charles Holland. I know the Hollands watched this game, and they watch Channel 10, Culpeper Media. We want to make sure we give out the kudos. That was Charles Holland who caught the pass and took it in the end zone. Good play and good pass catch from on Charles Holland, number 9.
And why is there a little bit of guesswork on our end? It's because we're thankful to be here, but we're not in the ideal conditions.
No, we're
not even in the press box. We're out here in the cold, and we're out here with a table. Johnny's done a good job. We've got a table. We've got this contraption around my head. I've got light, but we're looking at a game from a distance, field level. So we're not looking down on as we ordinarily do at other stadiums. But again, it's good to be here. It's good to be calling a game, and it's good to have, a game where the Blue Devils are going to be in it because they're going to be competitive. And we knew that going against Falk here, and we knew that coming in tonight against Caroline.
Exactly, and like I said, these are Culpeper still is in Division III this year, and so every win they can make, a district win too, is because the Division III playoffs, there are not that many teams. We're all surrounded by a lot of Class 4 teams, so every win Culpeper gets can help them towards the playoffs.
Uribe's kick going to be returned from the 15-yard line. This is going to be Marvin Morris. Watch out, he's in the open field. He's got one man to beat. Can't do it. Making what might have been a touchdown-saving tackle was the kicker, R.J. Uribe.
Yep, he ran him down. Good job by the kicker. He didn't get beat, didn't get faked out. But
Morris gives this team a lift there on special teams, Steve, to give the Caroline offense a short field to work with here. Now it's up for that Caroline offense not to sputter. And the Blue Devil defense has been up to the task so far tonight.
Right, they have. And so let's see if they can do defensively, get them stop here.
Ball at the 40-yard line. Caroline back on offense. They trail 14-6. 2:39 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Stay on the ground, bouncing to the outside. There's a running back there, number 19, Javon Morris. As he set the line of scrimmage here, we'll tell you this broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints, from shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. And K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 2nd down and 3. Caroline. Back to the run. A nice tackle made by Devin Polari on the ball carrier, who's a little bit shaken up there. Getting to his feet, number 19 is Javon Morris.
He's getting the name of that truck that just ran over me. Polari looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Great defensive play, textbook play too. Got his head right there in the shoulder, in there. Almost, I thought he was going to be able to dislodge that ball on a fumble.
Javon Morris being attended to a little bit here, a little bit shaken up.
That was the one that Speedbag just returned that kick, too. So.
Yeah.
But looks like he's shaken up. But Devin Polari came right down the line, linebacker, and the line did exactly, Mark, what they're supposed to do. They occupied the offensive lineman, stood them up, and allowed the linebacking crew, led by Polari, to come right down that line of scrimmage and make that hit.
Well said. Well, we are live, and our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. All right. 3rd down and 3 for the Cavaliers here. Here come the Blue Devils. They're going to throw it. Quick strike far side. This is going to be a 1st down and then some. For the receiver out there, it looked like it was number 4, Marvin Morris.
We got a flag on the play. It might be a horse collar or face mask against Culpeper. Let's see what the call is here.
Well, the Blue Devils are clapping as if it's going to work against Caroline. What do you think?
Might be.
Or maybe a little wishful
Oh,
thinking?
yeah. It's going to be against Caroline.
What do you think preliminarily what the call is going to be?
The coaches unsportsmanlike. They're calling for another play, and their fans are into it.
Personal foul against Caroline.
There'll be 2 of them.
Is that right?
This should be the first one on the personal foul that, I don't know. Let's see what I thought it was going to be on Culpeper, but obviously not. There's 2 flags here. One on the play and one after the play. So we'll see what the dead ball. Sideline warning.
Right.
Against Caroline. It looks like it's going to be holding against Caroline offensively as well. And holding against the Cavaliers now brings them way back, Mark.
To the 35-yard line.
Yep.
Of Culpeper.
Still 3-play 3rd down.
Right. 3rd and 3 from the 35. 1:24 to play. 3rd quarter, 14-6 Blue Devils. Holmes throwing. Middle of the field. This one picked off. This one is picked up by Cole Plaster. And Cole Plaster returning it down the Blue Devil sidelines just shy of midfield. Well, we've mentioned Plaster recently, and here he comes up big for the Blue Devil defense, Steve. And Culpeper has to feel pretty inspired at this point.
Mark, that was a beautiful interception. We've been saying we hadn't called his name very much, and he just high-pointed that ball perfectly and intercepted and ran a good run back by Cole Plaster. I mean, I thought Caroline's receiver thought he was going to have that ball, and Plaster timed it perfectly. And was able to high-point it and grab it and run it back for the interception back onto Culpeper's own 45-yard line.
You know,
46.
I think with Cole Plaster, I sort of get the impression he has a high football IQ.
I do too. He reminds me of a young Cole Beasley.
Yeah. He ought to like that comparison.
He should.
From the 46 go the Blue Devils. Jakari Edwards, the ball carrier. Edwards looking for a little running room, picked up about 4 yards out the midfield. In the tackle for Caroline was Jules Berryman. They're going to put it on the Caroline side of midfield. It's going to be at the 49-yard line, and the clock continues to run. Under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. It's Blue Devils 14, Cavaliers 6.
They're going to let that clock run, Mark. Let it run, because then, get in the 4th quarter, use your ground game.
The clock is definitely something that can be an asset to the Blue Devils and a hindrance to Caroline, the way the Blue Devil defense has stepped up tonight and really thwarted several of the Caroline efforts as Jakari Edwards slips a couple of tacklers and then takes a hit near the 45-yard line. And, that's about where they brought him down, at the 46 rather. So he picked up 3 yards. Going to bring up 3rd and 2.
I thought he might have fumbled the way the fans were reacting over there.
Yeah, they were reacting as though something had happened or they expected something to happen, didn't they?
Yeah.
48, 47, 46 is the line of scrimmage on the Caroline side of midfield, and the Blue Devils will let the clock run down, and it has expired. We have played 3 quarters here at Caroline High School, where it is Blue Devils 14, Cavaliers 6. We'll take a break, come back for the 4th quarter right after this.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Sons, more than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.
And we are back in action, and here to start the 4th quarter. Culpeper looks at 3rd and 2. Bennett Sutherland. Well, we're taking a break here for a kick, a contest of some sort.
It had to kick a field goal from way back there. It didn't go very far.
Did you, back in your day, back in the 30s, did you
20 for you, buddy.
Did you enjoy kicking field goals, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Did you enjoy punting?
I did, too. I could punt.
Were you like Ray Guy?
No.
Wasn't he? Oh, that's a trivia question I got for you. Not able to give you the answer, though. Got to come up with the question. 3rd down. Devin Polari. Unable to slip that first defender. Uh-oh, much out there. Well, Devin Polari stopped and actually lost a little bit of yardage. Going to bring up 4th down and 4. R.J. Uribe is onto the field, and that means a Blue Devil punt is forthcoming.
Yeah, you have to punt here. You don't want to give Caroline.
No.
You're up by 1 score, touchdown, 2-point conversion. So you want Uribe to get this punt off, get it down deep. Hope for your boys, the punt team can cover.
R.J. Uribe standing near the 40-yard line of Culpeper. Going to kick it from that spot. And number 15, Keegan Brown, is back there. He won't get a chance to return this. It's a nice kick because Uribe and the punting team has pinned the Cavaliers deep in their own territory inside the 15-yard line. Well, as we start this 4th quarter, we will tell you that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. That's Battlefield Automotive, 540-547-3673. So here in the opening minute of this 4th quarter, Blue Devils enjoying an 8-point lead. It was 7-6 at the intermission. Blue Devils added a touchdown and a point after in the 3rd. That gets us up to date. But the Blue Devil defense has come up big for them, including that recent interception by Cole Plaster. This ball is bobbled, but eventually caught.
Yeah, like I said, what Culpeper wants to do is keep everything, every play in front of them. Don't let any of those receivers get behind you.
Right.
And just make good sound tackling, good fundamentals, and they'll be able to, stop Caroline. So.
Cole Plaster's back there in that safety position, isn't he?
Yep. He sure is.
And he was playing, I think, center field in that last sequence where he went up and got the interception. But I like what you said about him because he timed his jump and the play perfectly to get that interception.
And high pointed that ball, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, this is the quarterback, going to keep it all the way. He got in close to that Blue Devil secondary before they brought him down.
Yeah, this is a good fake there.
Miles Holmes the quarterback.
Because Tucker Dean was crashing in there hard. And he did lay a blow on number 6, the running back.
Steve, let's do the numbers. Caroline, if you're looking at it from the Cavalier perspective, they just need a touchdown and a 2-point to tie this game. Correct. So, I mean, yeah, they're down by 8 points, but that's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Of course, that's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, right now you just got, their quarterback's a good athlete, so you got to account for him.
Now we got a penalty flag. They're going to let them play this one. This one's thrown up in the air and incomplete. And this was A.J. Marshall defending.
Looks like it might
against
be
that Caroline receiver.
Yeah, it's going to go against Caroline. It might be a legal shift here.
But if it were against Caroline, why did they let the play go forward? Are you sure it wasn't against the Blue Devils?
Yeah, I mean,
because usually if it's against the offense, they stop it, don't they?
Not a legal shift.
Has the official made the call yet? No.
Yeah, when you went like this, I mean, it is against Caroline.
Interesting. Okay. Will I sit corrected? I was going to say I stand corrected, Steve. I'm sitting.
See what the call is.
Yeah, they mark it off 5 yards.
Yeah, I thought maybe the Caroline player left early a little bit. And if it was legal shift, I think he was leaning forward on his motion.
Now from the 16, they throw it. Oh, tackled high. Will this be a penalty?
No.
Maybe, maybe not. Well, now there's a penalty flag. Might not have been on the tackle itself. Might have been what happened after that. But the receiver there was number 14, William Millsop. Now, he had that clutch catch in that second quarter for the team. Let's check the call here.
They're going to say this might be I hope it wasn't a taunting. This might be a horse collar.
Well, it looked like it was in that spot.
He caught up high.
Yeah,
they're calling it. That's going to be a first down for Caroline.
And has they're going to mark it off here, but I didn't see the officials call, the referee.
Yeah,
so it's 15 yards.
Yeah, it's penalty. He referenced horse collar.
Out to the 41.
And I didn't think that was a horse collar. He got him up here, but you have no replay here in high school ball, so they couldn't
review it. All right, coming near side is receiver Keegan Brown, number 15. And they've got another receiver in the slot, right side, Malik Johnson. And they send 2 to the left as well. Caroline has a first down now at the 41-yard line. And they're going to throw it out there to Morris, who slips that first tackle, then takes a good hit. Good fundamentally sound hit made. Let's check the tackler there. That's A.J. Marshall.
A.J. Marshall,
24.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now they're going to say forward and momentum.
Out to the 45. That's 4 yards on the pickup. They haven't put the ball down yet, though.
Is there a flag?
No, they're going to put it, right at the 45 it is. Yep. Clock runs, 9:02 to play. Fourth quarter action, 14-6. Blue Devils. Caroline recognizes it needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this game. Blue Devil defense knows it as well. It is 2nd down and 6. On the ground they go. Going to be about a yard or 2 shy of a first down is the ball carrier there, number 9. That is Vladimir Josin of Caroline.
This will probably be marked. They're running. It's probably going to be about 2 yards for a first. It's 3rd down here.
3rd down, a long 1, a short 2. Right at the Caroline 49-yard line. Caroline now looking at a 3rd and a long 1 or a short 2. That quarterback is Miles Holmes, number 7. Man in motion, number 14, William Millsop. Back to the run they go. What a nice hit. This looks like Polari again. And that's just textbook tackle right there, Steve.
It was, Mark. It was like, he looked like he had daylight, and then Polari just comes from nowhere.
Closed that gap quickly. Got the shoulder in there. Just a good, fundamentally sound tackle. So stopped him for no gain. And now you have rather than 3rd and a long 1, you have 4th and a long 1.
Yep. And now watch Caroline this time. They're going to try to fake that inside and try to get to the corner.
Now look at this right tackle for Caroline, big number 71, Sean Martzig.
Yeah, they moved him from center out here to tackle.
Yeah, he's on that right tackle spot. They've got some size on that Caroline offensive line, no doubt.
And they're going to try to get Culpeper to try to jump. He's got to watch the football.
Watch the football. If it doesn't move, you don't move. No call. Watch Holmes here. Holmes! Oh, he takes a big hit, but he got a first down. He just had to pay the price for it. Yeah, now we got a penalty flag coming down as tempers flare a little bit between players in blue and players in white.
I mean, Culpeper plastered him. And,
that was quite the hit.
And I don't know if he got there, Mark.
I think he did. It's going to be close.
But is the penalty going to be against Caroline?
And that we don't know yet, do we?
See, where he's marked and where that yard marker is.
I thought he had enough at first, but check the spot. It's right at the Blue Devil 49. And that's about where he had to get, so we'll see here.
Well, there's a penalty here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it's against the Blue Devils. This is. What is this play?
Yeah, personal foul again.
Yeah, they're saying he's taunting this time because the way they got it, and that was on 24, A.J. Marshall.
And you just, if you're the coaching staff, you just got to, when something like that happens, you got to at least just shake your head.
Yeah, and you got to call your player and say, what, come on.
Yeah.
You had him stopped.
You had him stop. Or, the guy, or you made him pay for a first down pickup.
Right.
That was a very tough yard he got. But then you give him you're generous with the charity, you give him a 15-yard penalty. Back to the run they go.
Yep.
Blue Devils swarming to the football. Short pickup by the ball carrier there. Vladimir Josen.
Yep. 7, the quarterback was asking for, but he took a hit.
Yeah, he was looking to the official as though there might have been an infraction.
But it was a running play. It wasn't a pass play. He was calling the handoff. Culpeper's smacking out there, Mark. They're hitting.
Well, and we were pretty close to it, so we can really pick up the sounds, can't we?
Sure can. I mean, they're playing solid here. They just got to.
Well, 2nd and 10, Cavaliers, Blue Devil 34. Back to the run they go. Ball carrier, good hard running. Short of a first down. It was a good run that time, off tackle by Vladimir Josen. Devin Polari in the tackle for Culpeper. 3rd down, about 3. Clock continues to run. We're approaching the 6-minute mark. 4th quarter action, 14-6, Culpeper.
We'll see right now the defense. Like I said, the front 4 are really playing hard. So linebacker, just got to watch. That running back for Caroline's getting to pad level. When he's doing that, he's going to get 6-7 yards. So they need to stop him at the initial hit.
3rd and 3 from the 27. They throw it. Nothing doing. Blue Devils snuffed this one, and they were ready for it. That was Cole Plaster making the tackle for the Blue Devils.
Now it's 4th down, and it's a loss too there, Mark, I think.
It is, but they've been in this position before where the Blue Devils looked like they made the stop, but then they hurt themselves with a unsportsmanlike penalty. So this is where you want to be disciplined.
Yeah, right now, because now you got to worry about 6 yards, right?
It looks like 4. But I mean, make the play, but then don't get involved in any exchanges after the play.
Right, just get up and hand the ball to the official.
4th and 4.
Don't jump.
Big play for both teams, no doubt. Here's Holmes. He's throwing. He's picked off. Oh, he's almost picked off. It would have been Cole Platt. No, that was Devin Polari.
Yep.
He's got a 4 on his jersey as well.
Well, he dropped it because he wanted to look where the field position.
Well, you noticed that. Yeah.
That's exactly what he did. He dropped it. He saw it. He would have had it, but he knew, heck, if I just knock it down, I want to get better field position.
Exactly. So, like Cole Plaster, then we say, here's Devin Polari with pretty good football IQ. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it before the ball gets to you. What are you going to do if it's coming to you, right?
Now, see, look, you're sending out these receivers. Now, you're telling Caroline you're going to run the ball. Obviously, we know they're going to run because it's 4 down. They want to eat up the clock.
Yeah, we're in the 4th quarter, 4:56 to play. Clock stopped with a change of possession. Blue Devils back on offense from their own 28. They keep it on the ground. And Jakari Edwards loses it, but I believe he was down by the contact.
He was down on contact.
Was Jakari Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, clock moving here in the 4th, and This broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. That's Found & Sons at 825-3530.
Well, 16 for Culpeper. Cook is coming off. He came off the sideline.
Cooper?
Yeah.
Devon Cooper.
We got Devin Polari in there at the running back.
Lost a yard, it looks like. Second down 11, 27-yard line. Yep, a couple first downs will burn up this clock for that Blue Devil offense and secure a victory for this team as Devin Polari takes a hit and fights it off, picks up yardage out across the 30. Well, I really like the hard running of Devin Polari, and I like the defensive play that he and Cole Plaster have had, Larry Williams, Jakari Edwards, and some others, of course.
Yeah, that's true. Now it makes it, what, 3rd and about 8?
Got out to the 30, but more importantly, Steve, look at that clock, 3:35 and counting. The Blue Devils up by 8 points, 14-6, with 3:30 to play here in this 4th. And really in the driver's seat, all they have to really do is hold on to the football.
Well, they got to get a first down here, Mark.
Sure.
They have to get the first down.
3rd down and about 7.
Yep.
Long 7, short 8. Bennett Sutherland taking his time. Flanked on both sides by a running back. And they're going to give it to Cooper. Cooper's not going to get it. He'll pick up a few yards, going to bring up 4th down, and so do you bring your punting team and play field position?
Absolutely, you got to bring your punting on.
All right, as I do so, we'll tell you this broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473, and CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. That's hometown pricing, outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center. All right, RJ Uribe standing at about the 20-yard line. This is Keegan Brown, number 15 back for Caroline. RJ Uribe, not to jinx him, he's had a pretty good night here tonight, Steve.
He has that.
They need a good kick from him. He keeps it high. This one won't be returned. Let's check the bounce, and it does take a Blue Devil roll, and they're going to down it inside the 30, shy of that 25-yard line. Looks like about the 27. So Caroline's going to have about, 73 yards to go to get a touchdown. Then they got to get a 2-point conversion to tie this thing, and they've got 2 minutes and 10 seconds to do so.
That's a good punt by Uribe, Mark. Now, defense is you go and tell your defense, don't let anybody get behind you, and because Caroline's going to have to throw it, Mark. Them trying to run it here, and I don't know how many timeouts Caroline has. I think they got 2, is that they're going to be – they're going to be hard-pressed to get it down here. So Culpeper's got to play good defense, keep the receivers in front of them, and get a good pass rush. Just don't get burned by the big play.
Carolina on its own 26, it looks like, from here. You're right, and I wonder if Cole Plaster is going to play a role in this because, like you say, you figure they got to throw it.
Yeah.
Here's Holmes. He's looking downfield. He is throwing, turning back for it and making the stop. A.J. Marshall defending, and he had some help from Cole Plaster. Pass intended for William Millsop, and he's number 14. Remember, he had that clutch catch in that second quarter that gave the Cavaliers a first down on the 4th and long. But now they're down to 2:02, and so they need some big pass plays. You figure Cole Plaster will be up back there in that center field position, waiting.
They're playing a cover 2 with Plaster at Rove in that middle with safety help over the top. So we'll see what defense they get in here, because they're looking. The Caroline's looking where they have the ISO, where they got a guy man on man. But we've got good athletes out there on our corners now. They haven't thrown out here to 28 side all evening, so he's got to be ready to roll.
On 2nd and 10. Quarterback going to keep it. Not going to go too far. And
Clock continue to run.
oh, that was Devin Polari making a key tackle for Culpeper, Steve.
Yep. And number 28, he was at Talik Thomas for Culpeper.
Yeah, Talik Thomas.
Yeah, he's just said he's got to be wary because they've been going over the other side trying to attack Marshall, but.
Right, so Talik Thomas here, number 28 on this left side, A.J. Marshall on the right, Cole Plaster
Now they're going to load up here. They're going to load up here. Trips on the left here. And now they got to call timeout.
Well, I wanted to tell you that our timeout sponsor is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. UVAcreditunion.org. Timeout on the field, a minute 23 to play in the fourth quarter. Caroline has it, and
like
I said, go the distance.
Like I said, Mark earlier, Caroline has not won a Battlefield District game in 17 district games. 17
consecutive losses against Battlefield District opponents. And right now, it doesn't look real promising for them either, does it?
I don't want to jinx it yet.
No, I'm not saying I'm going to jinx it now. That's not on the table here, Steve. But I'm looking at mathematically, the odds are a minute 23. The way the Blue Devil defense is played.
That's right. I mean, they just can't give up the big play.
Right, and that's what you said. Don't give up the big play. Don't let that receiver get behind you.
Yep. Trips
to the right.
Yep, and they got one-on-one on the outside.
Miles Holmes, the quarterback, is going to step up and throw it. There's Talik Thomas, and you just mentioned him, and he was in good position there.
Yep.
All the way, step for step, with the intended receiver, Marvin Morris.
Now this brings up fourth down, Mark. Now the defense is, you got to watch out. They might try to get a short play in here to pick up first down.
And I was watching the Blue Devil players here, Steve, looking back to the fans and saying, hey, let's give us a little noise up there.
They got a big play here.
It really comes down to this play for both teams.
Yep.
If you're Caroline, you have to convert. You've only got a minute 16 remaining. If you're Culpeper, if you stop them here on fourth down, you get the ball back, and no question, you got to be able to burn that clock with a minute 16 to play. Watch Holmes. He's throwing. Nice looking pass out there. Nice. Broken up play by Talik Thomas, who came over, number 28. You were just mentioning him, Steve, and the pass was intended for 19. Looked like he might have it, and Thomas timed his hit perfectly.
Perfectly, man. He made him drop it because he did have it. He had it caught. And I was thinking, boom. And then great play by Thomas, one of the littlest guys out there.
And he's getting the congratulations of his teammates now. Deservedly so.
He's feeling it, too.
Yeah.
The trainer is there. I mean, he took a hit, too. Looked
he
like
did.
It might have got into his rib cage a little bit.
So if you're the Blue Devils and you're taking over at the Caroline 28-yard line and you only got a minute 8 remaining, you got to be able to put this one in the books.
Yeah, you just got to be able to get the victory formation here pretty quick because Caroline has, one timeout maybe. So you want to hold on to the football.
Bennett Sutherland, time management. Jakari Edwards, hold on to the football. He does.
Yep.
Got him maybe a yard or two, nothing more. And stoppage.
Minute to go here. Caroline calls timeout.
One more time for our timeout sponsor, Steve, which is UVA Community Credit Union, strengthening the financial health of our members and the Culpeper community. UVAcreditunion.org. And of course, we mentioned that we're live this year. Our live sponsor, Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. And one more spot, broadcast brought to you in part by Can-Am. Can-Am Lawn, Garden, and the Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. Down to exactly a minute to play in this one, Steve, and looks like barring a major catastrophe, the Blue Devils will get out of here in Milford, Virginia, Caroline High School with a win tonight. Second win of the season and the first one against Fauquier.
Yep, and it'd be a good win it's a district opponent, district win.
Right, Carolina Battlefield district opponent, exactly. Want to get that win in the conference, very important. Garrett Damewood in motion. Left side is where he'll take his stance and position as they go back to the run. And this is Jakari Edwards. First down yardage and a bunch more.
And that will probably do it right there, Mark.
Probably so. Well, there's something really appropriate about Jakari Edwards maybe getting the call at this point in the game, don't you think? Because he started out that way for the Blue Devils, answering the call.
He runs hard, and he's not going to turn the ball over. So
Jakari Edwards, Devin Polari has run well for the team. Polari
Charles Holland played good.
Charles Holland, yeah, had that touchdown.
Cole Plaster.
Sure.
I mean,
Larry Williams.
The whole front line.
And then here late in the game, Talik Thomas, a couple of big plays. Bennett Sutherland takes a knee. The clock will continue to run. I think he'll maybe do it once more. Maybe not even that.
I think it's that. They can walk this off.
Well, look at Coach Ford. Is he happy?
Yep.
Blue Devils are happy.
Win.
They're going to let these seconds tick down, 15 and counting.
And it was a good win there, Mark, for the Blue Devils. Come down here, win 14-6. Evens up there with now they finished 2-3 now. They're 2-3 is their overall record.
Right. So we saw them. They lost to Eastern View. They've lost to Stafford, wasn't it? They lost to Liberty. They've beaten Fauquier, and they've beaten Caroline. That'd make them 2-3 on the season. Caroline loses. They're 0-4, and now that streak continues. 18 consecutive losses against Battlefield District competition. But they had their moments, but it seemed to me like they really sort of hurt themselves. In addition to the Blue Devils playing well on defense.
Yeah, it was. They hurt themselves with some untimely penalties, but again, Caroline's a lot better than it was last year. I mean, they're improving. They just got to get the kids out, but it's tough. You 18 straight district games, and I'm looking at the district schedule. I mean, who maybe James Rowe's not very good this year. They're weak. Chancellor, playing Easterview tonight. They haven't won a game. I think Caroline can hang with a lot of these teams. They just got to they just didn't get the breaks, and Culpeper did today, and Culpeper played very well.
All right. Enjoyed calling the game with you tonight, Steve, and working with Johnny, and, of course, having Nicole back in the studio. We did what we had to do to pull the broadcast off. Johnny was improvised. He was resourceful, and we've had a good time. So, once again, our final score from Caroline High School, Blue Devils 14, Cavaliers 6. For Johnny, Steve, and Nicole, I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for watching and supporting Blue Devils football here on the Culpeper Media Network. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time. So long.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, willing to take your trade and offer up to 125% of Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value, along with a free trade appraisal. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. CFC Farm and Home Center, supplying your lawn and garden, pet, and farm needs since 1932. Hometown pricing and outstanding service at CFC Farm and Home Center, 825-2200. Found & Son. More than a respected funeral home, they support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. K&M Lawn, Garden, and Arborist Supplies, now located directly across Highway 29 from Eastern View High School. K&M, from grass to trees, they aim to please. 825-8371.